Hey, what's up, guys? It's Andrew Olszentowski. I'm back with another UFC prediction video. This time, UFC 324, Gaethje versus Pimblett. This event goes down in 3 weeks' time. It goes down Saturday, January 24th, 2026. It's going down from the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. This is the first UFC event of 2026. First UFC event of the CBS and Paramount era. So let's get into it, guys. First fight, Ty Miller against Adam Fugitt. Welterweight fight. Ty Miller from the Contender Series. Adam Fugitt, he's been around the UFC for a couple years now. One fight losing streak, 36 years old. Lost to Islam Dulatov in the first round back in July. Again, that was all domination by Dulatov. Beat Josh Quinlan prior to that. It's been alternating wins and losses. And the UFC hasn't given him an easy matchup here. Ty Miller is currently a minus 360 favorite. I'm going to go with Ty Miller to pick up the win here. Next up, Ricky Tercios against Cameron Smotherman. Two guys, both on 2-fight losing streaks at bantamweight. I'm gonna side with Tercios here. I mean, he is the dog, but I mean, we got two guys, you know, that are underperforming in the UFC. You know, both with wrestling heavy styles. Tercios is a plus 165 dog. I'm going to go with the dog here in Tercios to pick up the win. Michael Johnson against Alexander Hernandez. Lightweight fight. Two guys on winning streaks. And Hernandez is currently a minus 190 favorite. And I just don't think, you know, history has kind of shown us that you just can't lay that favorite price with Alexander Hernandez. I don't know who would want to. 4-fight winning streak, 33 years old. I mean, the guy is coming off an impressive. He was a big underdog against Hooper. And he came through and got Hooper in that fight. Beat Diego Ferreira too, but Ferreira is a little older. But again, you know, beat Kurt Holloway, Austin Hubbard. All good wins, 4-fight winning streak. And I think he really needed that Hubbard win, and I think that was a really close fight. He might have got released from the UFC had he lost that fight. So again, 4-fight winning streak. I mean, who would have thought, man? Michael Johnson, 39 years old, 3-fight winning streak himself. Huge win over Daniel Zellhuber in his last fight. He was a huge underdog, plus 555. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna side with Michael Johnson here, man, just because he's the dog. Two fighters I kind of view as very similar. Could see this being a very close fight. I'm gonna side with Michael Johnson. Natalia Silva against Rose Namajunas, and this fight shouldn't be on the prelims, in my opinion. Two of the top women in the women's flyweight division, and look at Natalia Silva. Look at her odds here. Minus 380 against Rose Namajunas, plus 315. When have you ever seen Rose that big of a dog? And again, I think Rose is better suited for strawweight. I mean, just dominant champion at strawweight. I mean, unbelievable. Hall of Famer for sure. But at flyweight, she just hasn't had that success. 33 years old, 1-fight winning streak. Beat Miranda Maverick in a close fight. I mean, Rose did win that. Lost to Blanchfield prior to that. Beat Cortez, beat Rivas. But again, lost to Fjord. And Fjord's obviously in the top 2 of this weight class. So no shame in that. Natalia Silva, she just beat the former champion Alexa Grasso prior to that. Grasso can't wrestle. It's just amazing that Grasso was champion at one point in time, but she isn't anymore. Beat Andrade, so she's beat everybody put in front of her. I think she's gonna beat Rose as well. I'm gonna side with Natalia Silva, but again, this is a fight that I do look forward to watching. Josh Hokett against Denzel Freeman. Again, heavyweight division is weak, so again, two prospects are squaring off against each other. Kind of hate to see it. 34 years old for Freeman, 3-fight winning streak. Just picked up a win over Merrick Bushto back in November in his UFC debut. Hokett, man, this guy continues to impress. He cuts a promo after he wins. You know, 7-fight winning streak. Beat Max Gimenez in his last fight. Was on the Contender Series prior to that. So again, a lot of hype for this guy. Betting line has been steamed up. He's minus 230. It opened minus 200 and it briefly dipped, I think. But again, he is a minus 210 favorite, and I'm going to side with him here as well. But again, it'll be interesting, man. Again, you don't know what to expect at heavyweight. One fight changes everything, or one punch changes everything. But I am going to side with Holkett. Alex Perez against Charles Johnson. It just does not seem like Alex Perez has been relevant for any amount of time recently, man, since he lost at Figueiredo in 2020 for the flyweight belt. But again, let's look into his record. 2-fight losing streak. Lost to Asu Elmabayev. Lost to Tatsu Taira. And he got a nasty injury in that Taira fight, man. But it beat Nicolau, I believe, in a main event back in 2024. Yeah, he did beat Nicolau in a main event back in 2024. But again, he's fought some really good guys, so no shame in that. He's going up against Charles Johnson, man, who continues to pick up wins here at flyweight. He's finally getting, a nice ranked opponent here. Beat Lanier Kavanaugh, man. I think he was a big dog in that fight. I don't know about big, but yeah, 215. Beat Kavanaugh. Lost to Tamirov prior to that. But again, man, this guy, he's got to win over the champion, Joshua Van. So, I mean, credit to this guy, man. The UFC did not give this guy any favors. Made his debut against Mokaev back in 2022. So, again, I mean, this guy he's fought a who's who at flyweight. And right now, he's a minus 185 favorite. I'm going to side with Johnson, too, man. This could be a really close fight. So, again, I can't blame people for taking the bet on Perez here, but I'm going to side with Johnson. But again, it's a non-bet for me. But again, Perez has probably fought the better competition, but Johnson, he's probably looking better as of late. Gaethje against Pulev, and again, Gaethje just continues to get these fights where he's just a big favorite. Minus 900. Well, that says it all, man. Probably another first-round knockout. I'm going to side with Gaethje. Umar Nurmagomedov against Davison Figueiredo. It's going to be interesting what they do at bantamweight. You would think that Merab might get a title rematch against Peter Yan, set up a trilogy fight. But again, it wasn't really a convincing, it wasn't really a close loss for Merab. So again, the UFC is just trying to get Umar an easy win here. So he can possibly challenge for the belt next. Figgy is a guy that he can possibly sub. Again, man, Figgy seems like he kind of just outgrew the flyweight division, but he is fighting more often now than it seems like he ever has. But again, he's just kind of outsized at bantamweight here. Again, beat Montel Jackson. Montel Jackson just did not throw anything in that fight. He was kind of frozen. Figueiredo took him down. Figueiredo, fought the guy with the bigger reach smart, so he fought him tough. I think it was a 29-28 decision. Lost to Sandhagen prior to that. Sandhagen just way bigger. Just Sandhagen very well versed. Lost to Jan. We know how good Jan is. But again, he's picked up wins over Vera and Garbrandt. Two guys that were, and Font, 3 guys that were somewhat relevant a few years ago in the bantamweight division, but have kind of lost relevance as of late. So again, props to him for that. Umar, again, lost a close fight to Merab. I mean, he won the first 2 rounds, in my opinion, but lost the last 3. Again, he possibly had a broken hand later on in that fight. I don't know what happened, but again, no props to that. He gained valuable 5-round experience. Beat Mario Batista, who's a really good bantamweight. Beat Sandhagen. I mean, again, he's beat everybody he should. He's a huge favorite over Figgy. Let's look at the odds. Minus 1,400. I'm going to side with Umar Nurmagomedov. Nikita Krylov against Modestas Bukauskas. Krylov, I think he's on a 3-fight skid here. So he might, or a 2-fight losing streak. So he could possibly get released if he loses again. Again, he's just not, just doesn't have the striking defense. Because these are fights that he possibly should win here, and he just hasn't won them. Especially if he utilizes his ground game. So he's on a 2-fight skid. Modestas Bukauskas, he's looked much improved since he's came back into the UFC. 4-fight winning streak. Wow, that is impressive, man. So props to him for that. He's looked good. I'm going to pick him here, but again, it's hard to trust either of these guys. They're mid-level, light heavyweights. He is a minus 190 favorite. I will side with him here, but I think Krylov is the more experienced fighter. But I will take Bukakis. Arnold Allen against John Silva. And again, really good fight here. I'm going to side with John Silva. Again, man, he was having a lot of success, I thought, against Lopez in that second round. But then Lopez got him down again, and Lopez was doing some damage. But, man, this guy is dangerous, man. He is a dangerous fighter. He wants to fight, man. I mean, this guy's a problem. This guy's a big problem at featherweight. Arnold Allen, again, one fight winning streak. Beat Giga Chikadze, but again, he hasn't fought in a year and a half. Lost to Movsar Evelev, lost to Max Holloway, two of the top guys. And, in that weight class, again, Holloway has moved up to lightweight, but again, I thought Holloway was very well suited for featherweight, so I don't really understand the mindset. But again, Holloway is a top 5 lightweight, so again, I get it too, but I'm going to side with John Silva here. I don't think you could bet him at that price, minus 225. I couldn't bet it. Again, I can't blame anybody for taking a shot at Allen or taking a bet at Allen, but I think I'm going to side with John Silva here. Waldo Cortez Acosta against Derek Lewis. And again, the UFC they're not doing Derek Lewis any favors. Again, Lewis cashed for me as a plus 230 dog in his last fight against the so-called taxi cab driver and Taliesin Teixeira, man. What a fight, man. Lewis has some serious power. I mean, this guy, in my opinion, is a UFC Hall of Famer. Just the amount of fights that he's fought at heavyweight, the amount of knockouts he has. I mean, this guy's fought a who's who, man. 40 years old, 2-fight winning streak. Yeah, he'll never hold a title. But, again, what a fighter, man. It's, and he's going up against a guy that also has some knockout power, and I think he'll be able to stay away from Lewis's right hand, or at least take him. And this guy's got a chin. Cortez Acosta, I've been high on this guy for a while, man, and he's just fighting often, man. He's proven his value. He's proving his value to the UFC, man. He takes short notice fights. He's finishing fights. He beat Shamil Gaziev by knockout. I think I had Gaziev picked in that fight just because Cortez Acosta took it on short notice. And, he knocks him out. Beat Ante Delija, who, he clearly knocked him out. Lost to Pavlovich. No shame in that. Sergey's got big power. He fought smart. It was a boring fight, but Pavlovich fought smart. But look, he beat Robelis Despan, who I don't even think the UFC should have cut, man. Thought the guy was a pretty good heavyweight. Yeah, he didn't have much of a ground game, but Despan, I thought, man, could, the guy is a world-renowned striker, and you're going to cut that guy, and, that guy was fighting often, too. So it's just, I don't know, kind of weird. But again, I think Cortez Acosta is just the younger, the better fighter of the two. Going to probably land more volume. Again, Lewis could land the right hand, but I'm going to side with Cortez Acosta. Minus 310 favorite. Again, not bettable, but I'm going to side with Cortez Acosta. Sean O'Malley against Yadong Song. And I'm going to side with O'Malley here. Again, I don't think Song is, a better striker than O'Malley. I don't see him getting takedowns against O'Malley. Maybe he does. He looked great against Cejudo. Again, I had a bet on Cejudo in that fight, but I wish Cejudo would have stopped that fight prior to it going into, the 4th round. But he didn't. It would have been a draw or a no contest, but, again, he looked good in that fight. He looks fast, man. He looks fast on the feet. Again, Peter Yan picked up a decision win over him prior to that. O'Malley, again, he had no answers to Merab in his last fight. Again, they gave him an immediate rematch. So two fight losing streak to Merab. He hasn't picked up a win in almost 2 years. And again, that was a hand-picked opponent in Marlon Vera. So again, you don't know his mentality coming into this fight, man. This guy hasn't won a fight in almost 2 years, hasn't fought often. UFC kind of babying him, you know, so you don't know what you're going to get here, man. Again, I can't, you know, necessarily fault people for taking the dog and Song, but I think I'm going to side with O'Malley here just for a pure pick. So yeah, my pick will be O'Malley. Kayla Harrison against Amanda Nunes, UFC Bantamweight Championship. And again, female Bantamweight is weak, man. You know, Harrison doesn't have really too many top challengers in that weight class anymore. Kayla Harrison's beat everybody that she should have. You know, she beat Holly Holm, beat Ketlin Vieira, beat Juliana Pena, and finished her. So again, she's beaten everybody that the UFC has put out to her, man. The top bantamweights in that division at the time. And Vieira and Pena are still in the top 5, I think, in that weight class, in the women's bantamweight weight class. But she cuts a lot of weight. Kayla Harrison cuts a lot of weight. You know, she's a grappler. I don't really think she has much striking. Amanda Nunes, I mean, the greatest women's bantamweight of all time, coming out of retirement, 37 years old. Again, hasn't fought in 2.5 years. That's the worry. Is she taking her training seriously? Is she ready for the ground game of Harrison? But she should definitely have the striking edge. Hopefully she's been doing her cardio. But I mean, if Amanda Nunes has been doing these things, you know, getting her ground game up to par, getting the cardio, getting the ring rust out of her, I mean, for as much as she can, you know, as far as the training rounds and all that. If she's really serious about a comeback and defeating Harrison, and she's not just coming back for the payday, this should be Amanda Nunes' fight to win here. And again, I mean, it seems like Amanda Nunes always cashes as a big dog. I mean, we've seen it, you know, 9 years ago when she was an underdog as a champion to Ronda Rousey, and she completely destroyed Ronda Rousey. You know, and she defeated Valentina Shevchenko as a dog in their bantamweight championship fight back in 2017. So again, and then she defeated Chris Cyborg, you know, for the featherweight belt, you know. So again, I believe that was the featherweight belt. We'll pull it up here. Back in late 2018. Yeah, so I mean, again, she has a history of just coming through as a dog, man. Obviously, the greatest women's bantamweight fighter ever. I'm going to side with Nunes, man. I just don't know how you could lay that price with Harrison. Again, maybe the UFC would like Harrison to get a win here, but they can market either lady. You know, they can market either lady here. So again, I don't think the UFC minds either winning. Nunes is probably the more exciting fighter. Do they necessarily want her to win? I don't know, because she might go back into retirement. But I am going to side with Amanda Nunes here. Justin Gaethje against Paddy Pimblett. Man, I never thought we'd see Pimblett fighting for a lightweight championship, man. I remember when he made his UFC debut back in, September of 2021. Watching his debut at a girlfriend's house at the time. Fight was in England during the day. And, yeah, here we are. And, man, he has not lost in the UFC. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he's 7-0 in the UFC. Competition hasn't been the best. Again, a lot of hand-picked opponents from the UFC. And Gaethje, you know, the worry with him is he hasn't fought often. And, you know, he's taken a lot of damage throughout his career. But, again, if he gets his leg kicks going, takedown defense is adequate. I mean, I think it's his fight to win, man. Again, Holloway finished him. He is chinny. He is prone to getting caught in a sub. But again, he's got a lot of good wins, and he's got way more experience over Pimblett. I'm picking Justin Gaethje here for the win here, man, as an upset. Gaethje is a plus 195 dog currently. Pimblett's a minus 230. I will be picking Justin Gaethje to be the to become the interim lightweight champion. So again, guys, my picks: Gaethje, Nunes, O'Malley, Cortez Acosta, Silva, Bukakis, Nurmagomedov, Gauthier, Johnson, Hokit, Silva, Johnson, Tercios, Miller.